Hello and welcome to United We Podcast, brought to you by the United Corpus Christi Chamber of Commerce. I'm your host, Al Ariola Jr., President and CEO. United We believe in the power of collaboration, the strength of advocacy, and the endless possibilities of growth. From advocating for local businesses to fostering growth opportunities, we're here to ignite conversations that matter. This is United We Podcast. Welcome back, United Chamber family and friends, to United We Podcast. Today we are joined by Johnny Philipello from Buccaneer Commission. Johnny, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Al. Happy to be here.
We're excited to have you, man. I appreciate our partnership and our friendship, and thank you for your chamber membership. Before we get talking about Buck Days coming around the corner, wanted to get to know Johnny a little bit because, as I understand, you're not originally from Corpus, so do you want to just share a little bit about your story?
Yeah. So grew up Bryan College Station area, went to Texas A&M, and off to Austin. I was involved in the legislature out of college and ended up with the rodeo organization there.
What'd you study at
Animal science.
Animal science?
I thought at one time I'd be a veterinarian. Then I decided to go down this weird path of lobbying. And next thing you know, I was working for Star of Texas Fair and Rodeo Austin, and was able to grow with that event. And
how big is the rodeo in Austin? I mean, when you think about rodeo, you think San Antonio, Houston.
So it is one of the top 10 rodeos. When you look at across North America, Texas is obviously up there with the best in there, and we grew that organization a lot. It's one of the larger events. There are about 300,000 people.
Where do they host it at?
The Travis County Expo Center. So that was kind of one of the challenges. Was the facilities there was in need of some improvements and so forth. So
okay, and so you got hired by the Buck Commission.
So Fred Dotz, who's a longtime founder of the rodeo, I knew through the association rodeo committees, and he reached out, and after a couple visits and meeting the board and everything, I saw a great opportunity here with the American Bank Center and growing our event. So
did Buck Days always have a rodeo?
It's about 35 years now. So
okay.
It started as it was actually called Splash Days in the 1900s, early 1900s, and in 1938 became Buccaneer Days. It started on North Beach Parade and just kind of a fun time for families on North Beach, and it's been a lot of things to a lot of different people over the years.
Well, and a lot of folks don't necessarily know the story. I myself had to get educated on it, but Buccaneer, the story of it, what was the intention of the branding?
So, I think it was just to have a fun pirate festival. The history of the pirates that roamed the area in the early days of settling in Corpus Christi. And what's really cool, if you look back at the history photos, is the whole city just dressed up as pirates and took over the town for the week. I'd love to get back to where we have that kind of spirit.
I think you're getting there. I definitely saw it last year. You're definitely getting there. What's one of your favorite? I'm sure all the events are pretty special to you, but which one do you enjoy the most?
Well, I've been in this event business 20-something years, so I think the thrill of putting on the event and just you spend a whole year culminating to make it all come together, and that's a big part of it.
Well, I mean, there's a whole lot to it, and I've seen the growth with your leadership that you've also added some supplemental events that also can maybe, if I would say, they're making a community impact, like the Lego. Yeah. Can you share some of that?
Yeah. So we've, when I started here a little over 8 years ago, we made a concerted effort to how do we move the event and focus it around the American Bank Center. There's always been a carnival. There's always been a parade. The last 30-something years of rodeo, but the piece that if you look at those other large rodeo organizations in Texas, they have academic competitions. They have some stock shows for kids, if you will. San Antonio, Houston, the big ones. So we're not trying to go down that path at all, but we saw an opportunity with the convention center to add STEM education and competitions for students. So that's what we've been on. We've added Lego League, we've added robotics. First in Texas is a big partner of ours. Construction, we're doing one of those junior competitions where kids take CAD drawings of canned goods.
That's super cool.
And build things out and go from there. So you're going to really hear some branding. We're really excited. Gulf Coast Growth Ventures just joined us as a partner, and so we're calling this the Buck Day STEAM Expo.
That's great.
And going to keep adding more and more of these type of competitions for kids to award them.
Well, and it's important, and obviously for the investment like GCGV that's needed in our backyard to really advocate for that kind of vocational activity, if you will. Well, and also the rodeo. Go back to the rodeo. So it's on CBS, right? It's on national.
Yeah. So it's been an evolution as well. For years we were a rodeo only. We added concerts about 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay.
Which really was a shot in the arm. We partnered with PBR and WCRA here the last 3 years and have really grown that side of it. So, the irony is when you look at the amount of money we're awarding, we're actually in the top 10 pretty easily.
Oh, wow.
As rodeos in North America, and really one of only 3 that are televised on CBS. So about 600,000 viewers watching nationally on network television for Corpus Christi.
Getting exposure for Corpus Christi.
Yeah.
Well, look, and I know you not only have been an engaged leader for the Buck Commission, but a leader in the community in general. I know you served as the chair of Visit Corpus, and I've seen you really be a good, strong advocate for what's needed in our backyard. And we're grateful for the American Bank Center and the visionaries that had the vision then. Can maybe you describe what you can hope for the future for the American Bank Center and how it could be accommodating, I guess, more for events like yours?
Yeah, really sustainability is important. And part of my move to Corpus Christi from Austin, and a lot of people don't believe this, but we had a much better venue for rodeo, for festival, than what Austin had.
Right. Yeah. No. I believe that.
And too often we compare ourselves to these larger cities, and we tend to think down on what we have.
Sure.
So for me, it's really important to make sure that investment in the American Bank Center as a whole is sustainable. It's a great venue. There's some improvements of just making it accessible more easily, keeping it updated, keeping it current,
right.
Those type of things that we can do to continue to grow and flourish our event, but also graduations, quinceañeras, all of the different things that go on there. It's really an impact for the whole community. Mm-hmm. SCA, CCA, all those different organizations.
When is Buck Day starting this year?
Yeah, May 2nd through May 12th, and we're gearing up. We actually have a 4-H shooting sports event that we're sponsoring this next weekend, and we'll award kids in that. And our leadership program's been going all semester for high school seniors.
I'm glad you brought that up. So I know that's in partnership with the Port, I believe.
Yep.
And maybe you describe the aim of the program and what you guys are hoping to accomplish?
Yeah, so we focus on high school seniors. Over 160 students from all over the region applied this year. We'll have students from Sinton, Kingsville. We actually have a Fremont kid that's in the program, so we're really excited to reach the whole area. But 20 high school seniors have been selected. They've gone through Dale Carnegie training. There's touring industry. They'll do community service. And at the end of the day, we're really trying to instill in them leadership prepare them for college, but also let them see the opportunity that exists here in the coastal bend.
In our backyard, yeah. No, that's important.
We want them to come back and be leaders in the community.
Or hopefully never leave, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, Johnny, so given your experience at the Buck Commission and the leadership there, something I wanted to congratulate you, if I haven't already, is on your new facility. It's cool. Pretty amazing, and pretty strategically located, I imagine.
Yeah, it's one of the goals when I first moved here, and this was from my board leadership, was we're an 85-year-old organization. We don't have a permanent home.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes things just work out. We actually had purchased a building a few blocks over from that originally to remodel and renovate, but this one became available, so we pivoted and made new plans and great donors support, great resources from my commission of leaders to all pull together to make that come together. But it's a great spot. We have community space, so we try to lend it to other nonprofits when we're able to as well.
That's great. And like I mentioned, it's one thing to have a home, but it seems very strategically placed with everything you got surrounding you. And is this going to be the first year you have it?
Yeah, so we moved in October, so it's the carnival will be right outside the front door. So
that's going to be a little more convenient. Yeah. So scheduled events, we talked about some of the STEAM activity, the festival itself, rodeo, and anything else going on?
Yeah, we're in our third year of this, but it's still just teaching and educating people that it's there. Is the exhibit hall at the American Bank Center is full of shopping and activities that are free for families. The other big piece of this that I'm really excited to push more and more, you'll hear us talk about it more, the two museums, the Science and History Museum and the Art Museum, we're partnering with this year.
Oh, cool.
The water gardens will be open.
Yeah.
So all of that will be included in our footprint. So you come into Buck Days for a child $5, adult $10. You can spend really all day going through the museums, the shopping areas, the free activities, go have fun at the carnival, and make it a fun experience.
That's very cool. I don't know if I asked you, sorry, is there anyone that's your favorite in particular? One that makes you smile the most?
What's that?
Of your events?
Oh, events.
The whole
thing, I think, is just each year, how do we make it better? And that's what my goal is in doing it all.
And the parade, right?
The parade's big, yeah. So stay tuned. There's an announcement coming on that we're finalizing some plans. But
now you got me. You're going to leave me hanging
on
this.
I'll just say the traditionalists of the parade will be very excited about that.
Great. Okay. I like that. Johnny, I know you also your son and your family. He's involved in 4-H too, and
yeah.
So what's it like raising a family here in the coastal bend?
Oh, we love it. For me, moving from Austin to Corpus Christi, I feel like I got an hour of my life back just not sitting in traffic.
Yeah.
But we live out in Flower Bluff. Daniel has his goat projects at the house. We just came back from San Antonio Rodeo competing there. We'll go to Houston, and it's nice. It's been fun to challenge him with something that's out of his wheelhouse.
Remind me what your degree was again? It was
animal science.
Animal sciences. Yeah. So, did you raise animals when you were growing up?
So I grew up, and that's
okay.
So how did I get into the rodeo business? It was really from the stock show side, and then I learned where the business side of it was really the production of rodeo and those things, and trying to put on a sporting event much like basketball or football. So.
Yeah, and it's a big Texas thing, and I can assume you learned some life skills, and I'm assuming your son the same. Could you share those, like what you really learned from those experiences?
And I think I see it more from watching him than what I did. It just naturally happened there, but. The dedication to waking up in the morning, working with your projects day in, day out, the competition side of it, learning to win, learning to lose, learning what it takes to be competitive and set a goal and go achieve it. And I think, honestly, from the event side of things, those are yearly projects that we were doing. So a lot of, not this instant gratification of you do something and you're done with it, where it takes the whole year to put it together, and then you put your best foot forward and hope you succeed. And that's what we do in Buck Days, I feel like. So.
That's very cool. Do you think your son's going to be studying animal sciences too?
No, not at all. He's. He asked me the other day, how do I go work for Google? I'm all for that.
There you go.
To me, it's more about the experience and learning, and the animals are just an avenue to do that. So.
The beyond community events and community engagement, what's something else you enjoy about living in Corpus Christi?
Just the community. I think we're a big enough city, but still have a small town feel to it that you can go anywhere, see people and feel the community. We're Austin. You had to make plans to meet up with folks. I mean, I'm sure you experience that with San Antonio.
Sure.
Too. You know, it's an hour tour sometimes just to get around.
Yeah, no, and then also too, where I don't want to say they're losing their identity, but they're all starting to look a little too much like each other. Those cities versus we're trying to keep our unique flair as a coastal Bend community and everything that we value here. Well, let me ask you, what does it look like on the off season? I know it's always a year of prepping and planning, and after Buck Days is over, it's on to the next year.
You bet. So we'll close out the year. We'll figure out our net bottom line. We try to run this just like any other business as a not-for-profit, and as much of the income that we can award back in scholarships we do. So we do that, and then it immediately goes into budgeting the next year. The exciting thing is there's over 300 volunteers that come together to make it all happen. So recapping those committees, what's working, what's not. It truly is. We're actually going to the Houston Rodeo to look at some of the contests they're doing for industry at their event to see if we can steal some of those ideas and implement them down the road as well. So it's always evolving. What can we do more? What can we do better? And then keep going.
I have a couple of friends and fraternity brothers that are very engaged in the Buck Commission, and they've been trying to pull me in. I was like, well, what does it take to be a Buck Raider?
Well, so there's a couple different organizations. So you have the Buck Raiders who are focused on the parade.
So that's different.
Well, they're involved.
Okay.
They're part of us.
Okay.
But they have their own set of bylaws, and it's a nomination process to get into that group. The Buccaneer Commission is the nonprofit. I work for about a board of 85.
Oh wow! That's easy.
It's fun. good group. But what we've tried to do to even broaden our reach is we've created a membership program, and anyone that wants to give their time, talent, or treasure can sign up, become a member. We have about 15 working committees. And so we have staff members working with those volunteer committees throughout the year to put them to work. So whether you want to work in a VIP area, if you're skilled with rodeo stock, we'll put you at the rodeo. If you want to help with the competitions, we can put you there. So it's a lot of different ways to get involved.
What's that like? So I've served in chambers, and boards can get pretty big in the 20s and the 30s.
Sure.
85?
So the commission is about 85.
Okay.
My governing board is 13.
Okay.
The 85 is kind of the feeder into that. So we'll have four or five quarterly meetings a year. And then the governing board itself is a monthly group that I work with. And I'll tell you, they've been great because it's truly been, hey, how do we grow this? How do we make it better?
Yeah, you can see that. It's pretty obvious to the community, the work that you guys are doing, and the innovation, I guess is a good word to say, is staying on your toes, seeing what you can offer unique that brings value. I mean, the STEAM thing, I've been personally a big fan of that in any market that takes that seriously, because everybody talks about the jobs of the future. Well, how do you get there, right? Unless you start planting those seeds now. Yeah. The Lego competition, I'm trying to get my head around that one. What was that all about again?
So it's basically the starter competition for the robotics. So it's the younger kids.
Gotcha.
I think it's 3rd grade to 8th grade.
There you go.
And then in its robots, they're just Legos that are building those robots. And then I'm going to mess up the name of this one. The First Tech Challenge is high school age students, junior high and high school. And we're actually looking at doing the big robots potentially next year, which would be a whole nother realm of folks. But we'll have kids from all over the state come and compete at this. And for me, it's showcasing to those kids, look at the opportunity of all this industry down here where you could come work and live on the beach.
And you nailed it. Is that's beyond, it's beyond a community event when you can make that kind of impact to showcase the community and the opportunities involved. So yeah, I think that's great work. Johnny, is there anybody out in particular you want to give a shout out to?
I think Jonathan McComb is our board chair. He's done a tremendous job leading the effort this year, and it's a commitment when you get on that ladder to serve in that role. It's about a 9-year process to get to the leadership role.
Oh man!
And so he's been very engaged, and it's been great overall. The board as a whole. because it's consistent leadership. It's a slow transfer of power.
Yeah.
That gives me direction, but
consistency in the vision,
and makes it all come together.
That's very cool. Well, Johnny, the partnership with the chamber, I'm hoping you'll use us just the same and help you spread the word about these great things that you guys are doing, because I really do feel like they're making a significant impact. Is there any event? Obviously, Buck Days are going to be your favorites, but is there any community event that you kind of look forward to beyond Buck Days?
I think there's several. What just happened, Barefoot Mardi Gras, that's a fun event for the community. I think the downtown events are great. Obviously, you guys are doing a ton at the chamber to really promote business in the community. So, it's a good time. You like to name the favorite. Honestly, for me, after Buck Days is over, my favorite thing is to go fishing down in Baffin and get away from people.
I feel you on that.
But definitely the community as a whole, I think, really rallies around each other to support the different events and make it a great time.
So you want to just let our audience know where they can get more information when they're curious about the scheduled events coming up and whatnot? Yeah,
so buckdays.com. You're really going to start seeing us push out a lot of information over the next few weeks. We announce our rodeo entertainment lineup February 22nd. We have some great parade updates. Just a lot happening here in the coming days at buckdays.com.
Johnny, I want to thank you for your time today. I especially want to thank you for your leadership in our community and everything you do with Buck Days. I've become, again, quite fond of everything I'm seeing you guys do. I kind of share your thoughts on the idea of us, the chamber, having a home. We're a 100-year organization, and those kind of conversations are important to create those visions and put those into reality. So, Johnny, thank you for joining us. I want to thank our audience for joining us for our podcast today. We'll see you again next time.